So yes, we would bang on doors, walk in unannounced, walk in on weddings, walk in on funerals, and everything would stop and we'd vaccinate. Thinking about it years later, it was astounding that the Afghans put up with us the way they did, with such humor and welcoming.
She went to get the mail and she came back with a letter and it said, "Oh, this is from the Peace Corps." And I went, "Oh, well, I've got paint on my, I'm working here." Open it up and she goes, "Oh, they want you to be a smallpox vaccinator in Afghanistan." And I said, "Oh, would you go to the big map, big wall map in the foyer and see where that is?"
Since I fainted at the sight of blood and, couldn't stand the thought of getting shots, that was a little bit radical.
And I remember my mother being so concerned and being absolutely convinced that I was going off to die.
I remember thinking, this country is only like 3 days away from my life, and yet it's just totally another world.
There were areas that were so hot that the flies died.
We had to wait, but we didn't know really what we were waiting for, but we did have to wait. And finally somebody would come and say, "Okay, let's go."
I came to this broken down compound wall, and there was a lady. She was probably about 35, but she looked about 20 years older, and she was sitting there. She had bone TB, and she knew she was dying. And I explained to her why we were there, and she immediately called her children. I want them to have everything to protect them. And she was just a very lovely woman. And I just said, well, I walked out of that compound and I said, the world doesn't owe me a damn thing. And that's the lesson of life.
I was off to save the world, and then, of course, you get humbled in Afghanistan. I'm sure other people have said that, is that you learn more from them and you save yourself, basically.
I said, I needed to go to the Tashnab, and he handed me a rock. And I thought that was to throw at the dogs, but it wasn't. They used rocks and mud clumps for toilet paper and bathroom tissue.
So then they have the head on a whole big platter. That was one day. And then they pop the eyes out and they present them to you to eat because you're the guest.
When all is said and done, it was like, well, how welcoming are you? It's like that salam alaikum, that meeting between people. And that was real, for me, I think that was really important, to sort of know that we, as humans, we really are all one. And we may have hugely different perspectives, but when it comes right down to looking into somebody's eyes, we can recognize each other. We really can.